Mascots are often just as, if not more so, famous than the brands they represent. Be it Ronald McDonald, Tony the Tiger, or Colonel Sanders, their names are embedded in our consciousness just as much as McDonald's, Frosted Flakes, or KFC. However, sometimes these characters aren't given names by the manufacturers of their respective products, yet they end up with names we all just come to accept. And in some cases, as with our subject today, the names come up with by consumers become the official name. I'm Think So Joe, this is Things You Might Not Know, and today I'll tell you how an unsighted Wikipedia edit led to the official name of Pringles mascot. In 1968 in the US state of Indiana, Procter & Gamble first began selling Pringles newfangled potato chips, which were scientifically engineered to have a saddle-like shape known mathematically as a hyperbolic paraboloid, and sold stacked in cans. By 1975, they were available throughout most of the country and began selling internationally in 1991. Why the name Pringle was used for the product, nobody quite seems to know, though there are several theories. Perhaps a pair of Procter employees lived on Pringle Drive in a small town just north of Cincinnati. Or maybe P&G picked the name out of the telephone book. Could be that the name was chosen out of a hat. However, perhaps the most likely of the reasons is that a man named Mark Pringle filed a US patent titled Method and Apparatus for Processing Potatoes in 1937, which was cited by P&G's own patent for improving the taste of dehydrated processed potatoes. Speaking of dehydrated processed potatoes, here's an extra thing you might not know. Despite the initial name for the product including the words potato chips, Pringles have actually not been allowed to call their product chips since 1975. Other potato chip manufacturers claim that Pringles, being made from a potato-based dough rather than sliced potatoes like their product, weren't real potato chips. The US Food and Drug Administration ruled on the matter, declaring that Pringles could only use the word chip as part of the phrase potato chips made from dried potatoes. Rather than put all that on their cans, Pringles opted to rebrand their product as Potato Crisps instead. One thing that the company didn't have to change at that time, however, was the caricature of a mustachioed man adorning the can. While the design has evolved over the years, the presence of the character remained a constant part of Pringles' branding. However, for more than 3 decades, the character did not have an official name and was referred to as Mr. P. In 2006, a Wikipedia editor known by the username Platypus222 edited the Wikipedia entry for Pringles, claiming the mascot's full name was Julius Pringles. As this was unverified and, quite frankly, false information, the edit was quickly undone by another editor. However, Platypus Man, as the editor goes by on Twitter, added this factoid back to the page, this time adding in the citation needed caveat, and it stuck, presumably due to Platypus being a well-known Wikipedia moderator. Recent tweets from Platypus Man and his friend Michael A. Wiseman revealed that the edit came about as Platypus asked Wiseman what he thought the mascot's name was, to which Wiseman, who was watching an NFL game featuring defensive end Julius Peppers, offered the name Julius Pringles. The duo then went out of their way to further the hoax. They added the fact to Uncyclopedia, cited it as a source on Wikipedia, and even created a Facebook group called Who Knew He Was Named Julius Pringles and invited all their friends. It wouldn't be until 7 years later that this was acknowledged by Pringles. In 2013, Jimmy Fallon brought Ladysmith Black Mambazo, a South African vocal group, onto his show, and along with them, sang a song about, of all things, eating Pringles. Pringles responded to this segment by doing a video in the same style and offhandedly referring to the mascot being named Julius Pringles. These clips are no longer available on official channels, and rightfully so, as Fallon performed in African clothing while utilizing a questionable accent. Since 2013, the name Julius has been accepted as the name of the mascot seen on Pringles cans, and was even a Jeopardy clue in 2021. Lastly, well, this is probably a thing that you do know, the man who helped bring Pringles' shape and iconic can to fruition, Frederick Baur, requested that his children bury a portion of his cremated remains in a Pringles can. After Baur passed away in 2008, they stopped at Walgreens on the way to the funeral home to buy a can, choosing the original flavor, and in fact buried some of their late father's ashes in the iconic can that he engineered. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching Things You Might Not Know. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can see a playlist of things you might not know videos over there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time!